And if you go to Cambodia, you'll find a pyramid there, right? And you know where do you know the name of the oldest pyramid in the world? Where do you think it would be?
Egypt?
So if you take archaeology 101 or history, and if you go to Wikipedia as well, the oldest pyramid is the Djoser pyramid or Saqqara pyramid in Egypt, right? That's around 4,200 or 300 years old, right? But if you go to Bareilly in UP, there is a pyramid there. Nobody wants to accept that it's a pyramid. It's a pyramid. If you go to Bareilly, if you see drone shots, you'll know that it's a pyramid. And on top of the pyramid, there's a lingam, right? And the name of this pyramid is Ahishetra. It's 5,000 years old, built around the time of Lord Krishna, right? It is the oldest pyramid in the world, and it's actually located in India. Okay, you can see it's crystal clear that it's a pyramid, right? But people don't recognize this as even a pyramid, let alone the world's oldest pyramid. They don't even recognize that this is a pyramid we have in India. Okay? Now, if you go to Cambodia, you'll find a pyramid. And this is the middle of the jungle called the Kokar pyramid. It's called Kokar now. Cambodian language, Kokar. It's fantastic. It's completely a forest. You'll see all the trees. And in the middle of it, you'll find a giant pyramid. And on top, of course, now the lingam is gone. There was a huge lingam there. So they built a pyramid there. If you go to another place near Angkor Wat, they built another pyramid there. These pyramids look identical to the Mayan pyramids in Mexico, in Central America. Some of them look identical to the Egyptian pyramids. So what I'm trying to say is when we think of pyramids, you normally tend to think Egyptian pyramids or Mayan pyramids, right? But no, Hindus were building pyramids that predate their construction. You see? They were building the pyramids like that. So,
but why do you think we were building pyramids?
That's a good question, right? So, and this is my theory, okay? And I can be wrong, but I can also be right. What they were trying to do is they were trying to build a pyramid in remote places, right? And what they were trying to do is they were trying to put a giant crystal lingam on top of the pyramid. That's what they were trying to do.
Okay.
This is literally true of almost all Hindu pyramids. This is true of Ahishetra. This is true of Kokar pyramid in Cambodia. Original name was Lingapura, a city of lingams. Okay. There would be all these trees, but in the middle, they would create a giant pyramid that's taller than the tree line. And on top, they would put a massive lingam, not just a small one, okay? Massive crystal lingam. Okay, massive. Why? Right? That's your question, but I'm asking you, why?
I think maybe this was the earliest form of a temple structure, maybe. And also maybe because, so mostly I think maybe because the pyramids are pointed upwards, maybe there's something related to energy that is going towards your lingam. Something like that, maybe. What do you think?
Okay. Now, do you know, before we had this electric radios, do you know that you had crystal radios?
Oh, really? I don't know.
You don't need electricity. You can just take some crystals, take a piece of wire, and you can connect them both, and you can basically listen to anything.
Okay.
You can still buy it on Amazon. It's kind of a toy now because nobody uses it, right? Because we have advanced sets,
Right.
at least we think.
Yeah.
Right? Before they commercialized electricity and they made everything dependent on the government given electricity. they used to have crystal receivers and crystal radio, right? It was the easiest way of communication, right? I can transmit information to you immediately. Now, again, let's say you and I were walking, and let's say you're walking in the middle of a jungle, right? So you're walking somewhere, it's full of trees. You're trying to call me,
Okay.
right? But it's not going through.
Okay.
Now, what do?
I'll shout.
You're trying to call me with your cell phone.
Right.
You're trying to call me, but it's not going, right? So instinctively, you're going to do this.
Yeah, I'll try to pick up a network. Yeah.
Exactly. Why? Because you understand that you have to go high. The higher you go, the better the reception. If you still don't get it, if you climb the tree, you'll get it.
Interesting.
If you climb a tree, you'll definitely get signal, by the way. If you don't get signal, just go outside, right? And then take the elevator
Right.
and go to the top of the building. You'll definitely get it, right? Like this is just, we don't think about this, but you'll do this, by the way. You'll do this even without thinking, because the higher the elevation, the better the reception. I think this is exactly why they were building these pyramids in the middle of the forest, clearing all the trees, but making sure they stood above the trees. So if you go and see a cell phone tower in the middle of the forest, what do you say? Was it built for religious reasons?
Okay.
What would you say?
Right.
Think about it, right? Do you ever see, oh, that's a cell phone tower. That must be made for superstitious reasons. Yeah. No, right? But when we think about the temples, or when we think about the pyramids like that with crystal lingams, we tend to think like this. We tend to think, oh, that must have just been for rituals or, religious reasons, right? It's very easy to dismiss it like that. But is it possible that they were using some type of communication around the world using pyramids? You find the pyramids in Egypt, you find them in India, you find them in Cambodia, you find them in Guatemala, you find them in Mexico. Were they using a global network of communication using crystals?
Interesting.
Right? And this is, see, again, just when you see it, I hope, you and people who watch this, just take everything with a grain of salt. Like, just try to think a little bit deeper than the data. Just don't stop with the data, right? Just think a little bit, right? So if I see you, if I come there and Sharma's drilling a hole in the wall, I'm not going to be like, oh, he's just doing this for religious reasons, right? If you're drilling a hole in the wall,
Right.
it's probably to hang a picture. It's probably to mount a TV. There's going to be a practical purpose
Right.
behind your action,
Right.
right? But when we look at archaeological sites, we are so quick to dismiss it as, oh, this must just be a temple. This must be a place of superstition. This is just a, So just take it with a grain of salt, right? Think about why 1,000 people would gather 2,000 years ago, clear a forest and build a pyramid and place a giant crystal lingam on top, right? Do you think it
That's interesting.